my name is Margi Sank from margistamps.com. Today I'm going to do a video on how to make this very cute little gift box. And it's got two themes, you can see, either the baby or the pansy one. I also did one using In the Wild, and I'll show you that completed one later. You will need 2 pieces of cardstock. The first is 8 inches by 7 and 1/4 inch, and the second piece is 11 inches long, and it is half the width of your A4 cardstock. So that is 2 and a bit inches or 10.5 centimeters. I'm sorry, I know it's a dual language, but you'll cope with it. So the first thing we're going to do is on the base of the box, we are going to score this at 3 inches on the long side. So on the 8-inch side, you're going to score at 3, rotate 180 degrees, score it at 3 again, rotate 90 degrees, so this is a 7 1/4 edge, and you are going to score this at 2 inches, flip it 180, and score at 2 inches again. Love this new trimmer, it's fabulous. So we're going to set this bit aside just for a jiff. The 11-inch piece, 11 inch by 10.5 centimeters, you're going to score this one at, on the long side, at 1 inch, flip 180 degrees, score at 1 inch. I find it's much easier. I can see these smaller bits on the right hand side. Now I also want to score this at 5.5 inches, so half of 11 is 5.5, and I'm going to score this all the way through. In order to make this, cut this out of half a sheet, this is a little bit tricky, but it will work. You're going to score this at 7 7/16, which is one tiny little mark before your half-inch mark. You score all the way down there at 7/16, flip, and do the same thing on the other side. So so just the mark just shy of the 1/2 inch score line on your trimmer. Now we've got, this is going to be the makings of this insert, which will go into your box to make it stand up and to be secure. So I'm going to show you how to do this. Now we need to cut some tabs at 3 1/4 inches on the long side. You're going to score in just to these score marks. So if you go over a little bit, it doesn't matter. On one side, and that's at the 3 1/4 inch mark on your trimmer. And come in again, okay? Make sure you don't use that. Well, you could use the, no, don't use the cutting blade. All right, so now we have, these are the raw ingredients for your box. And now I'm going to show you how to put this together. So let me just stop this and I'll come back in a jiffy. These are the bits that we want to get to. So let me show you how to get there. This is the hardest bit of this construction, is getting the cuts in the right place. So this bit and this bit, these are these panels of your box. These bits are this. So what we're going to do, you could use your trimmer for this, but I actually find it easier to use scissors. So you're going to cut, and you want that to be square, and then you're going to wedge each of these. Oops, that's a bit bent, obviously. That should have done a bit better. All right. Now, I find it easier to cut, I can see it better, before I score. Sorry, not before I score, before I burnish or with my bone folder. I find it easier to cut first because I can see the line a bit better. You might be different. You might prefer to use your trimmer to do this, but at the moment I'm just going to use my scissors to show you that this is quite possible. Okay, I think I need to snip that a bit more. I don't think my angle's been quite right. Then, now you can either use, so you want to make sure these are nice and square here, because this will make your box nice and square. So you can see I've done those folds and I'm going to do these. Now when I do this, I want to make sure that this is square on this edge, on the edges, because this will make your box sit flat and your side sit flat. Okay. Okay. There we are. On my sample I prepared earlier, I've actually written to wedge this piece and then to glue one side only. The reason being is that if you have this much of the box built, it is then easier to get this piece in, oops, flat, okay? So I'll work on this bit now as my template. So what have I said? I've said wedge this piece, adhere this piece to one side only. So this will be the next step, and then I'll show you how to do this. But in the meantime, we are going to cut this piece. So this is what we've got. This is where we were with the scoring. I'm going to use my trimmer to cut out these middle sections. And what I've found is it is much easier for me to see what I'm doing, or more importantly to hear and feel what I'm doing if I don't have these bits in there. So I am going to wedge them first, and I am just stopping at the score line. You can probably see that, and there we go. Now I will grab the trimmer, and I want to be here. And I want to make sure you can see the channel. I'm lining up the score line in the top and the bottom, which I realise is probably out of view, the top and the bottom of the score line, and I am going to grab my scorer, and something is on that. I can't see what it is, never mind. And I'm going to pop it just above. I'm going to make the where I've cut into that tab, and I can actually hear it. And I'm going to slide up. There is a mark here, but I can never really see it very well, and you'll see that piece will come out. I'll do exactly the same here, and this is the easiest way I found to do it. So you want your score line to be in this cutting or scoring ditch. I can feel that. And I can feel that. There we are, done. Okay. These tabs need to come out. These bits on these tabs need to come out. Otherwise your box will not sit square and it'll be really hard to get them in. So I'm just cutting to the intersection of the score lines. The next thing you want to do is to make the hole for the finger tab, which is this. And I'm going to explain how to do that and come back to you. Okay, I used 2 layering circle dies to make the circle, and then to make this surround here on both sides, just to neaten it up. Okay. This circle measures just a tad under 2 inches in diameter. And this one you're going to use on contrasting stock, cardstock, measures just under 2 1/4. The first thing to do is to have this down, maybe 1/2 centimetre, 1/4 inch, and die cut the circle out of one side only. I'll show you how to do that. Okay. So I have die cut the circle from the middle here using the plain circle. So I've got one circle cut. Now to make sure your circles line up, you're then going to fold this flat, bone fold your edge, and then place the die straight over the circle and run it through your cut and emboss machine or your big shot machine again to cut the other side. I found that by doing this, you run it through folded this time, you're not putting as much pressure on your cut and emboss machine to try and get 2 layers through at once. That will then pop out. And you've got your piece for the insert. Now with mine, I actually did do a surround on this, just because it neatened it off a bit and I didn't want to stamp on this one. So I'll now show you how to do that and what I found the easiest way to do it. You'll take a piece of, in this case, I've used the beautiful new fresh Freesia, well, this is, the pink is polished pink, to die cut my surround. I found it easier to die cut the scallop edge first. I could see it a bit better, so I'm going to die cut this, and then from that circle I'm going to die cut, use this to cut the edge. I'll show you how to do that. So I've taken my my circle and I'm laying the die straight over the top of it. I can see a margin of scallops all the way around, and this is how I'll pop it through my cut and emboss machine. Okay, so you'll actually need 2 of these. Now these circles, they'll come in handy later, so don't get rid of them. You'll need 2. You'll need 1 for each side. Obviously this is a test, this is a sample, so I wouldn't be giving this to someone, or maybe I would. Happy birthday one day and then congratulations on your new baby the next. Anyhow, so 2 circles to go on our insert. 1 there and 1 on the other side. But I'm going to show you how to put this together first. I found it easier to put these little circle babies on later. So the first thing you're going to do with this is to fold these tabs back on themselves. The reason I suggest you do that so you don't get confused and somehow manage to put glue on the tabs, because we don't want that at this stage. I really should get a bone folder, shouldn't I? That just goes to show what you can do with hands. All right, 1 more. Okay. Oh, I've got a bone folder. Goody. Look, here we go. You want these nice and crisp because you want them to sit super flat. Over there. Okay. Next, we are going to glue these 2 bits together. Let's see if we've got any glue in here. Otherwise, I have to stop the video again. Oh, we have. Oh, that's good. Okay. So, needless to say, I only need to glue one side because the other side will stick to it. There we go. Magic. Okay, you with me so far? So we're going to glue that flat and try and make sure all these beautiful bits do line up. So cutting those holes that way means that your center circles will actually line up. It takes all the guesswork out of it for you. Okay. Okay, so we're there. How cool is that, right? Okay, I'm going to pop him over there because effectively, here's one I prepared earlier. And let's get cracking on this box. So, this is the box. This is the base. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to apply glue to this bit. I like the multi-purpose liquid glue because it is a strong bond. And you want this box to be strong. And oh, I hope you can see that. Look. I'll turn it around that way. Can you see I've done this standing flat, because then I can make sure these edges sit flat. And then I can not see where the light is. The light, I think I'll have to do it this way. And it's sort of like, I'm sure I've got my hand over it, but it's just where the light's coming from. I'm probably running out of glue, damn it. There we go. Come on, baby, you can do it. All right. once again, I'm actually just like shutting the door. So I want this to be nice square edge here and square there. All right, so, and by pressing, I'm making sure that glue is nice and the box is solid. Can you see? Can you see that? It's nice and square, but I've done it flat. So then I can slide this edge across, slide this edge across. Okay, that's half of the box made. I'm actually going to poke that back, so hopefully you can see that. All right, I've hold it that way to the light. Okay, pretty. Now I have got the new Tombow. I like having my stash of Tombow, and I'm actually going to glue this bit. Oh, there's a lot of glue there, but that's all right because the bottom of this will fill up that whole space, the bottom of the insert. You see that? Lots of glue. And now I'm going to grab my pre-made insert and I'm going to glue the bits. So let me grab, so this is going to sit in this space in here. I don't need to glue these bits because I've already glued the bottom of the box, but I am going to glue these side tabs. And unfortunately, I'm probably going to have to stand on my head and do this. Well, not quite. That'll ooze and fill in that space. Now you're going to see magician at work. I'm going to fold these bits flat. Can you see these are sort of really tucked over because of how I've done it? And I'm going to slide this into the box. And because you've only made half the box, you can actually see that that's all the way along the bottom edge. Let me see if I turn it around that way. Will the light be any better? Can you see that? So then I've got the top and the bottom, and then I'm going to use my lovely grid paper, and I'm going to then position this so I can see it's on the middle line, and then I'm just going to put those bits shut. And I'm hoping desperately that you can see that. So can you see that? So it's sort of in the, it is in the middle. I'm happy that it's, this piece is actually vertical. It's not on some shocking angle. And these bits, and you can use your bone folder just to get those bits nice and flat and adhere to that glue on the bottom, because the bottom, this is the strength of the box. Then we're just going to shut these walls of the box. Okay, so next step, glue these bits. And just, all right, might do, I think I'll do one and then the other. I want you to sit, I want this to sit beautifully flat. Can you see that? So I want my bottom bit to fit flat. There. I could probably do this to get a good bond as well. Let me see if you can see it better. Try and make sure the light's good. So there. And then I'm going to do this side. Oops. I don't want to do that. I don't really want that there because I don't want it to ooze out. Now you could either fold it, I just suggest whatever you do, try and have a flat surface where you're trying to get this to bend. There we are. See, it's nice and smooth along the bottom. So that's going to be a nice secure box. There we are, box made. So that's the how to make the box. And then you'll be able to decorate it as you choose. So this was the example using All for Baby. I thought that was, and the Pansy Petals DSP. And this was using Pansy Petals DSP die cut, and obviously the DSP. And then once again, these were the little gift cards, very simple. Pansy Petals die cut DSP trim, and this one All for Baby using the dies here, cutting out the little suits. I love the stitching detail on these. And then this one was stamped. And I will get the other one. This was the other version, which was using In the Wild DSP and All for Baby. It's cute, aren't they cute? And then, and you can see on this one I've just stamped the leaf out of All for Wild up the top here. And then this was the Happy Birthday using the In the Wild suite. And this is the card. So once again, die cut from the DSP. You could stamp it though. So quite simple. So thanks for coming along and viewing today. These were the treats. Here we go. There you go. Enjoy. Bye for now.